Hi Warwick, time for my weekly address. First thing I want to talk to you, it's a perpetual subject, trash collection. We're doing a lot better. We've gotten some trucks repaired. We're still waiting on 2 brand new ones to come in. Supply chain problems, the dealer just hasn't been able to finish putting the package together. We're expecting them in the coming weeks, but we're managing. One thing I wanted to talk to you about, at one time it was a rule that you had to put a recycling bin out for your trash to get picked up. I've suspended that rule. We just asked you to recycle, but if you don't need to put it out, if it's not full, you don't have to. Also, there's been a rule where if you put 2 out, they both have to be full, and some drivers, they're all supposed to check on it. Some do, some don't. We're getting rid of that rule. If you put it out, we're going to empty it. I ask you not to put it out if you don't have to. It speeds up collection overall. But if you put 2 out, we're going to be picking both of them up now. As you all know, a couple of weeks ago, I announced our plans to build an outdoor skating rink and event center behind City Hall here. I don't want you to be confuse this with the recreation money, the bond money that's slated for Mickey Stevens. It's a very separate thing. We're not using that money. The bond is there. I have a committee together. They've been working for a couple of months now on plans for Mickey Stevens, whether it's going to be baseball fields with tennis courts, a walking track, perhaps a playground. They're working on that now. That property is a little bit complicated. It has to be abated. It's built over where the incinerator used to be, probably in the 40s and 50s. A little bit of a landfill part is there. And also they buried the debris from when they built the skating rinks and the pool. So it's made the land settle. We have to cap it again. We have a DEM grant to remediate some of that, and I think the grant was about $419,000. So all that's being done now. The engineering studies will go out. So we haven't forgot about Mickey Stevens. It's a valuable, vital resource for this city, and we're going to improve it, and we're working on it now. A little update on the Sawtooth Building, where we're going to be leasing it from AAA to put city offices in there. Work is going forward at a breakneck pace. AAA needs to get their offices in there. I think they were scheduled to do it within the next week or 2. They have a ton of people working there. There's a lot of work going on, a lot of construction. They're working on the city offices too. They projected that it was going to be late spring or very early June to get our office in there. We're going to wait and see. I mean, it's difficult in construction right now at this point in time with supply chain issues. But I'm hopeful to get the city workers in there and get this government functioning, more efficiently than it does by having offices all over the city. So we're all looking forward to that. We still have a pretty good supply of COVID tests. We're giving them out at the senior center. We're giving them out at the library. We've said that we'd like people to be over 55 and have symptoms or a reason to believe you have COVID. But really, we don't refuse anyone. If you need one, you can go to one of these facilities, and there's no questions asked. Just get it. We were told by the government, the federal government, that we were going to have another supply coming in shortly, but we haven't received any further word on that. We'll let you know if and when they do come in. And speaking of the senior center, this Friday they'll be reopening. They've been closed because of the COVID uptick. They have a list of activities. You can call up, you can go online, and everything will be covered. So I'm really happy the seniors will be able to return to their normal activities there. As you know, for the last couple of years, there's been a lot of talk in Warwick about the possibility of building 2 new high schools to replace our old ones. I went to meet with Mayor Bob DeSilva of East Providence last week, and he took me and the superintendent and her staff on a tour of their beautiful new high school. It's something we all want for Warwick, but we have to be careful of the costs. It's going before the City Council right now. They have to determine whether to endorse the plan and bring it to Rhode Island Department of Education to keep moving forward. Right now, my administration is doing a very detailed financial impact statement on it, how it will affect the city's bond indebtedness, how it will affect your taxes. So we're getting all that information to the council. There'll be more public input on it, and we'll let you know the results when we have them. Right now, all our focus is turned to this impending storm for the weekend. It's too far out to accurately predict it but by a lot of accounts, it's going to be a pretty severe storm. It's going to be a significant storm. So we're working on it now. We're putting our emergency management plan into place as far as shelters go, plowing strategy. There will absolutely, definitely, unless the forecast changes, be a parking ban. But this time we're going to enforce the parking ban. We usually look the other way if it's a small snowstorm, but this one, having cars parked in the street will have a big impact on public safety. So we will be towing cars, we'll be ticketing and towing cars. It's going to cost you a lot of money to get it back out. Just find a place to put it on the lawn, ask a neighbor, bring it to a parking lot, do something with it, but don't bring it on the road. Same thing goes with basketball courts. They have to come off the road. Don't leave anything in the street. I suggest, to protect your lawn, the more snow it is, the more difficult it is to find the edge of the road. Go out, buy those markers, those little markers. The ground's frozen right now, but you can get a screwdriver and a hammer, make a hole, and then drive them into there. That's the best way to avoid your lawn getting ripped up and to let our plow drivers know how far over. Strategy on a big storm, you have to be patient. This isn't going to be the kind of storm where it's going to get down to pavement. That's not going to happen. It will happen on the main roads because they're salted. The City of Warwick does not, there's a lot of questions about this. The City of Warwick does not now, nor have they ever salted or sanded flat side neighborhood roads. We don't do it. It would be too expensive. We have 2,000 roads. We do hills, curves around schools, and secondary roads like Tidewater Drive, Jefferson Boulevard. Post Road, Warwick Avenue, Main Avenue, West Shore Road, Airport Road, those are all state roads. The city does not do it. The state has a lot more money to spend than we do, and they put a lot of salt on it. It's not going to go down. This is going to be cold, frozen snow. It's going to be with us for a while. It's going to pack down in the streets. The only way to solve that is to drive slowly and carefully. We plow. We put the plows all the way down, but the surface is not even. The plow touches where it can, and there are nooks and crannies, so it does not go down. It's going to be this is a good old-fashioned New England storm if it's going to go the way they predict. What we do is we'll start plowing. We open up a path for emergency vehicles. As the snow starts coming to an end, we widen. It's going to take a couple of days. It's also going to be over the weekend. We do have a full complement of drivers now. The thing is, they can't stay out there 72 hours in a row. They have to sleep at some point. So, you know, we're going to do the best we can. It'll take days to get it back to normal, especially the sidewalks. Remember, it's your responsibility and your obligation to shovel the sidewalks in front of your house. We have some equipment, and we'll do where we have to. Everybody needs to work together. You need to be patient. And if we're getting a foot or more of snow with high winds, please stay off the road. You don't have to go to Dunkin' Donuts this Saturday. Most people, if you have an essential job, of course you have to go. But now just don't go out just for the sake of going out. Prepare for the storm now. Everything you're supposed to do. We're going to try to open up a shelter because there's a possibility of, if we have the high winds, of the power going out. So there's a lot of preparation to do. We're starting it now. We're starting it today. The storm, as predicted right now, it's going to be Friday night into Saturday. But this will affect us all weekend. So just be patient. Let's all work together. Check on your elderly neighbors, any neighbors you have that have handicaps or physical limitations, and take care of each other, because that's what we do here in Warwick. Thank you. We'll be talking to you next week. We'll get through the storm together.